Hey YouTubers, Mind Body Spirit again. I just uploaded a video and I had to add this addendum. And you gotta help me with this one too, because this one right here makes no sense. I heard this fool on YouTube. And he's nothing less than a fool to me because he makes no sense. He's talking about Israel. Now, that's a touchy topic with so-called believers. They believe that Israel has some special place with God, in that we as Americans or Christians, we should support Israel and the things that they do. And if we don't, then somehow we're going to be judged by God. Now, they get this from the Old Testament. Now, first of all, there are so many problems with this position, which makes you wonder whether these people are mentally ill. Now, see, I'm of the opinion that most people are mentally ill. When I mean most, I mean 51%. I'm not saying 80%, 90%. Most people are mentally ill. They need help. They do. And sometimes I like talking to mentally ill people because they're colorful. They're very colorful, and they add something to my life that I appreciate. But I don't listen to them too long because mentally ill people will they congregate together, and then stupid things come as a result. But these so-called believers here, okay, let me lay out first of all their problem. First of all, the people who occupy the land of Israel right now are not Jews. They're not the Jews or what we call the Israelites of the Bible. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not no black Hebrew Israelite, and I don't proclaim and professing that you got to be an Israelite. No. I'm not saying that. I'm just talking about the facts. They are not from the 12 tribes of Israel from the Bible. They are not Jewish by descent. They are Jewish by religion. That's the first problem. The second problem is that these people migrated there as a result of England basically making them a state. I think it was in 1947. That's their second problem they got. The third problem is it's in the Old Testament. If they read the New Testament, Paul said in Romans chapter 16, Romans 15, I think it's verses 3 and 4, that whatsoever things are written aforetime, he's talking about the Old Testament, is written for our learning, not our doing. And if you read the book of Galatians chapter 3, chapter 4, and chapter 5, Paul lays out the case of why the bondwoman, which is the old covenant or the old law or the Old Testament, whatever you want to call it, all of it together, and that's include 10 commandments and the prophets and the Mosaic law, all of that. Paul makes the case about the bondwoman who was not the heir of promise and the free woman. That's what Paul makes the case in Galatians 3, 4, and 5. Go read it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. We're not supposed to follow law. Then Paul comes back later and makes the case in Romans that how can a person if a person is a debtor to the law in one area, he is a debtor to the entire law. And then Paul goes on to say that even if you did the whole law, Christ benefits you not. That's their problem. So that's just three problems right off the top of my head that let you know the problems they got with this whole supporting Israel. The fourth issue is that the Jews that live in Israel, they believe that the so-called Christians here are heathens. They don't even believe in Jesus Christ, which I find interesting, seeing is that they are willing to sacrifice blood and treasure, other people's children and lives to go fight a war for a made-up nation. Now, don't get me wrong, second point. I'm not no Zionist. I didn't even know what a Zionist was until I was listening to some of these radios. So I'm not this person that thinks, oh, well, Zionists are trying to rule the world. No. Let's get that straight, too. It's not that. I base mine totally on what I know the Bible to say. Again, mentally ill. You tell me they're supporting documentation or their supporting thesis, whatever they're using to determine that we support this land over in Israel. It makes no sense whatsoever. That's the reason people think these so-called believers, again, who are not Christians, they are believers, why they believe that we should support the nation of Israel. And one of the craziest ones is this cat named John Hagee. What John Hagee needs to concentrate on is his violation. Well, I'm going to say violation, but John Hagee is a tic-tac away from having a heart attack or a stroke. He's about 5,000 pounds. Okay, not 5,000, 4,000, 400, whatever. This dude, he needs to be concentrated on trying to not eat so much. And it's idolatry. When you eat food and you can't stop, that's idolatry. Okay? So he's guilty of the sin of idolatry, at least. God says you will have no God before me. Obviously, Big Macs and honey buns and donuts and annihilators and 40 ounces, obviously that's his God. But anyway, that's me ranting. But you got to hear me. Please tell me where I'm wrong in this respect, because it makes no sense why somebody would support. Now, I'm not talking about just Israel. I don't think as Americans we should support any of these people, wars and things of that nature. But anyway, that's my little rant. Get back with me and let me know what you think. Bye.